What's up, guys? It is official. Jones, Tyson, September 12th. I was live at Bare Knuckle FC 11. Bellator MMA is back on the map. The finale of UFC Fight Island Whittaker, and so much more. Guys, let's go absolutely bananas. All right, guys, what is up? Happy Monday. This is Dave Van Auken once again, back again on the Fight Bananas podcast. Oh, my goodness. Do we have a show for you today? It's one of those things I feel like I can just chit-chat with you guys for hours. So if you got 4.5 hours, listen up. All right. First and foremost, before we get into an epic weekend in combat sports, which is amazing, we're through this pandemic. There's still people out there struggling, and combat sports is just back. I was live at Bare Knuckle FC over the weekend, Bellator, UFC, even LFA, Titan FC had a show. Just absolute stunning weekend for combat sports. But then the elephant in the room, something, if you guys been listening and following Fight Bananas on all of our social media platforms, on the IG, it's Fight Bananas Official. Twitter, guys, follow me at David Van Auken. Facebook, Fight Bananas, fightbananas.com. A lot of new content, by the way, on fightbananas.com. A lot of new articles, all the podcasts. But all right, let's get into it, guys. Tyson Jones, it's here. May 7th, check it up. Go on fightbananas.com. Go on my social media platforms. It's there. May 7th, there was mumbling of Tyson Jones. Because every news site, every, podcast, and everyone that was in the know was saying, hey, Tyson's going to do this. Tyson's going to do that. We heard of Vander Holyfield 3. We heard Shannon Briggs. We heard, he was going to do some celebrity stuff. Guys, May 7th. We are at the end of July right now. May 7th. I threw up an article. Jones, Tyson's going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't want to say I'm not that guy. I don't need to be first. I am usually in the fight game, and I'll get into that later. The whoever's first is wrong. The fight game is a grueling roller coaster of up and downs until the day is done, until it's signed and booked, or until the fighters literally lock themselves into that cage. You never know. But on May 7th, I said Jones-Tyson's going to happen. So everyone that's been following me and Fight Bananas, I got so much great feedback from it. I appreciate it. But I don't do it for that. I do it because we want to get you guys the information. We're building a great platform. We have so many great other podcasts underneath our banner now, and we are building exponentially day after day, week after week. And we thank you guys, the Fight Bananas community. So let's kind of get into it. That's the meat of the boxing match. I am so excited. And of course, 90% of the people out there, the fans or, the press and all that are pumped, are happy. It's this event, this spectacle. Yeah, you hear 10%, all this and that, and it's money grabbing. Man, guys, just, if you can't get with this, just get out. Just get out. Why do you have to be miserable? Just get out of it. If you're not into this, just get out. You don't have to. You're not forced to watch it on PPV. You don't have to throw down money if you don't want to. But it's two of the greatest boxers of all time. You can debate two of the best boxers of all time. Jones and Tyson. And they were around the same era, but totally different weight classes. You would never think, and I know this is not right on target, but you would never think that Tyson Fury and Floyd Money Mayweather would fight. You would just never think that, right? This is kind of what that is. Years later, P4P, Jones Jr., Roy Jones Jr. And guys, he was fighting, it was underneath the UFC Fight Pass, underneath that Island Fights banner. What was it, less than 2 years ago? And in his last fight, he looked amazing. people, I remember that day like it was yesterday. People are like, oh, he's going to come back. You don't look that good in your retirement fight. You just can't. He's too good. He's got so much juice left in him. The tank is still got gas and a lot of it. And then Tyson came back. The videos, training, getting his body right, getting his mind right. And then it just kept on snowballing and snowballing. And I just never agreed with all these other, websites and platforms were saying this and that. Guys, Tyson wasn't coming back for this or that. He was coming back for legacy and, to bring money, awareness to where he wants to bring that money to. Tyson Jones is the right fight. This is a mega fight. 2020 has been horrendous. Has been the shits. Now it's Christmas for us. I've been with people all weekend. Everyone can't stop talking about it. We're smiling. We're laughing. We're predicting. We're so excited here, even under our banner, and we're just a nickel of everything that's going on. So we're so pumped, guys. September 12th, we're going to have multiple shows on this. Plenty of breakdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if RJJ will hear him soon underneath the Fight Bananas podcast. All right, so let's get into it, guys. I was at Bare Knuckle FC 11 live in Oxford, Mississippi, and I just kind of want to give you a synopsis, some notes on what I saw and the after party and just what's going to go forward underneath the Bare Knuckle FC banner. So here we go. First and foremost, big ups to Bare Knuckle. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. They treated me with, unbelievable grace. It was really cool. We had our own little VIP section and a little media area. We were sitting ringside. It was just amazing. For one, if you've never been to a Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship event, you got to go. It's one of those things, as a combat sports fan, you got to knock it off the list. Check it off the bucket list. It's what a cool, vibe. And the ring and just they do such a great job with that ring and the platform. It was epic. I was super pumped. And, guys, I'm an MMA guy, boxing guy. I've never seen the Bare, and it's just, you hear the shots, the body shots, the knuckles on another man. It was tremendous. I cannot, 2 thumbs up on a Yelp review, 5 stars, whatever you want to do. Bare Knuckle FC, Dave Feldman, hats off, terrific job, unbelievable event. The first combat sports event with people in it. It was cool to see crowds. I actually saw your boy Eric Anders there. So it was just awesome. What a great event. Oxford, Mississippi. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts. There's 3 fights I really kind of want to chat up about. First fight, and then the 2 co-main and the main. So Caleb Harris versus Elvin Brito. Caleb Harris had the knockout of 2019. Caleb Harris had that 5-round war with Jim Allers. We'll get into him later on the show. And just a guy that keeps on rising. His stock is rising in Bare Knuckle FC. And Elvin Brito, who is a guy who I actually have a lot of past with, been on the podcast before. And I have so much respect for this man. So much damn respect for the man. He's one of those guys. He just works harder than the next guy, tough as nails, all those cliches you want to do. He's just that guy, super friendly, great guy, just so much respect for him. And the behind the scenes story is this. So Island fights, been over 2 years now, probably 2.5 years. Mike Beast Boy Davis, huge prospect, UFC light heavyweight now, just got a victory late last year. And he was in the main event of Island fights. UFC Fight Pass, a huge show, and he was the main event. And his opponent dropped out due to weight issues. And Elvin Brito was on the undercard. And something happened with his opponent. But Elvin Brito's 10, 15 pounds. It's 2 different weight classes. Elvin Brito steps up. He goes, no, I'll take the fight. He goes, no, you guys know who Mike Davis is. He's a killer. Different weight class, so on and so on. He goes, no, I'll take the fight. The show must go on. And ever since that moment, I have so much love and respect for Elvin Brito. So back into the fight, 5-round war. Probably the fight of the night. Brito and Harris, it went to a split decision. And this is why we need an open scorebook, open scoring. We need that MMA scoreboard. We talked to Dave Feldman about it. He loves the idea, and we got to get that going for Bare Knuckle. One judge had Elvin Brito winning 50-45, all 5 rounds. One judge had Harris winning 49-46. So 4 out of 5 rounds. That's the complete opposite, right? And then the split decision went to Brito, who won 48-47. Okay. Yeah, I was there live. It was close. I thought it was close. I thought it was a really good fight. Brito has a weird style of, he's always in a way moving backwards because he's dodging, not getting hit. He really didn't get hit that much, and he's doing damage to his opponent going backwards with these hooks and counters. It's just a different kind of a style. Some judges see it and some don't, but split decision went to Brito. Both guys have a huge future. Both guys have probably big fights coming up them for Bare Knuckle FC. No steam off of each man. Love the fight. Hats off. Elvin Brito back underneath the win column for Bare Knuckle FC. All right, we're going to transition into the co-main event. Dylan Klecker made his Bare Knuckle FC debut versus Frank Tate, who looked in phenomenal shape. Holy shit. Frank Tate, 250 pounds, chiseled out of granite, athletic ability, been in the sport for a minute, just has a lot of fights underneath him, just a lot of knowledge in the rings. And Dylan just looked phenomenal. Holy crap. Major power. He hits like a goddamn truck. 3rd round knockout. He almost had him at the end of the 1st round. If there was 5, 8, 10 more seconds, he probably would have got the job done. But he finishes him in the 3rd round. TKO. What a great performance by Klecker. And Dylan, we know him, huge Island Fights veteran. I think he's got 8 or 9 wins underneath that banner. Now he's transitioning to Bare Knuckle, and they need him. I think he really throws a lot of juice into that heavyweight division. We got Joey Beltran as the champ. We have Shannon Briggs, who looks like he's coming in October 14th, Bare Knuckle FC. So I think Klecker brings a lot of juice. Great look, great family man. We saw his kids before the show and his wife. Just a really, really high-end top performance in the co-main event. Klecker is a name to watch underneath the banner. The main event, the 155-pound championship was on the line. And this has been cloudy, and I'm going to kind of address it. It was during the beginning of the year, before Corona, before the COVID-19 pandemic, there was going to be an 8-man tournament. And Palomino was in it, and also Jim Allers was in it. Jim Allers, the Bare Knuckle Beast, was the fighter of 2019, going through people. He's 4-0 underneath the banner. He's had a hell of a run for Bare Knuckle FC. So is Luis Palomino, by the way, 3-0 now, guys. They were matched up. This was going to be the main event of Bare Knuckle FC 11. Jim Allers had to back out. No fault to his own. I talked to him personally, and I'm not going to communicate what we talked about on that conversation, but it's out there. Someone close to him got COVID. He pulled out, and I respect the hell out of that. I respect the man of Jim Allers, taking care of himself and his family and his surrounding people. Love it. No shade. No. I like Jim more as a person now today than I did last week. But, guys, this is the fight business. This is entertainment. The show must go on. They had to make this match. It was main event in the card. Palomino was ready to go, who's a star in his own goddamn right. So they entered Isaac Valley Flag in it, who was also undefeated under the banner. It made sense to me. Palomino defeats him in under a minute, becomes the new Bare Knuckle FC 155-pound champion, and looked phenomenal. Guys, I know if you're listening to this, you know Luis Palomino. But his fights with Gaethje, a World Series fighting, and just go through his tapology. Like, it's incredible. Who he's fought, in the type of fights. I'm just very pumped that Palomino now has this belt in this stage of his career. Saw him multiple times afterwards, talked to him. because he's a big supporter, a big advocate of Fusion CBD products, and we are as well underneath Fight Bananas. So go to FusionCBDProducts.com, put in our code FIGHT2020, 20% off your full order. There you go. You're welcome. So Luis Palomino's the champion, and there's a lot of shade back and forth, and I wish there wasn't. And it is the fight game, so I understand it. I just wish that it's going to happen. If Allers wants the Palomino fight, it's going to happen. I talked to the brass at Bare Knuckle FC. I talked to Luis after the show. If that's the fight to make, that's the fight to make. They all parties want it. It's easy. It's it looks good on the poster. Bare Knuckle FC, the Beast Jim Allers is undefeated. Palomino undefeated as well. That will be one hell of a fight. Big ups to Bare Knuckle FC. I cannot wait for their next event. And I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of rumors going around. I put it on my social media platforms. Just wait. Just wait. We might see a little Paige Van Zandt toe the line. Guys, here we go. Oh, my goodness. Here we go, guys. Bellator MMA is back on the map. They called it, the Fight Sphere. Unbelievable show. Really great show from top from bottom. I thought it was really good. They put a lot of limelight on a lot of young fighters, a lot of fighters that need that light. So I thought it was great. They didn't pay some of the older names that Bellator usually uses to kind of attract people to it. They didn't do it, and I love that. Ricky deserves some limelight, and Sergio Pettis deserves all the limelight. Okay, I'm going to get right into the main event because I got so much more to talk about with Fight Island coming up. Sergio Pettis. I feel the word is almost so overused, and especially in mixed martial arts and all that, underrated. Sergio Pettis is 26 years old. Check out his record. Check out his dates. Check out his fights. Guys, he had a 4-fight win streak in UFC. I think he had a 3-fight win streak in UFC. He beat Joseph Benavidez. Oh, yeah. He lost to Henry Cejudo. Everyone loses to Henry Cejudo. Oh, how old was he? 23 years old. 23 years old. When I was 23 years old, I was flipping Chick-fil-A sandwiches. When LeBron James was 23 years old, he was losing to the Washington Wizards. 23. Anderson Silva was getting knocked out in kickboxing. Come on, guys. Sergio Pettis is a star. His body was growing. His mind was growing. Honestly, I know how I take things serious more now as older. He probably takes the fight game more serious. Maybe watches more film. Maybe trains just a little bit harder. Sergio Pettis is an absolute juggernaut in the featherweight division. An absolute star. So I'm really happy for Sergio. Won all rounds, 30-27.
Yeah, man, but I'm a critic of my own performance. Obviously, I want to go out there and start finishing people more and more. Ricky was tough, man, so I had to play a smarter game plan. I went out there and did what I had to do, but there's more to come.
That was Sergio Pettis in the media scrum after the show. He's 100% right. There's so much to come for Sergio. There's so much to come for Bellator MMA, and I'm so excited to see the future unfold for Sergio, the Phenom Pettis. All right, guys, it was the finale of UFC Fight Island, and there's a couple names I really want to say. You ready? Because you got to get practice at it. I got to get practice at it. Khamzat Chimaev. Oh, I think I nailed that. You guys, one more time. Khamzat Chimaev. What a gangster. 10 days, 2 wins, 2 different weight divisions. 10 days, 2 wins inside the octagon underneath UFC, 2 different weight classes. Come on. Khamzat Chimaev, an absolute star is born. Probably 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, yeah. Some media members and some podcasts and press and some, scouts and all that. We knew him. We knew of him. But now, my uncle knows him. The Subway cashier knows him. You know him. And that's what we need. The MMA community, Fight Bananas community, UFC, they created a superstar. A star was born on UFC Fight Island. We've had champions decided, big main event winners, and we'll get into that in a second. We had returns like Alexander Gustafsson in the heavyweight division. We had some great fights. So much. But a star was born in Khamzat Chimaev. All right, main event time. Real quick, but the co-main. It was Verdum was so overlooked in this fight. Right before the fight, 10 minutes, I threw a little wager on him, and we're going to talk about a wager coming up. Guys, you got to listen to our boys at Inside the Distance underneath our banner. But I just, the more and more, and I like Gus going into it for a month. Huge favorite. I think it was minus 325 by the time it went off. And the more and more, Verdum came back off that long suspension and looked bad, looked rusty against Olenek. But as soon as I saw that he was kind of getting back in there right away, that meant to me that he doesn't care about his contract and running out and what's next, if it is Bare Knuckle FC or Bellator. That shit doesn't matter. He knew he can fight at this level and wanted to prove it to himself and to others that, he is still a heavyweight contender underneath the UFC banner. So when he had the quick turnaround, because he fought over there in Jacksonville, guys, I thought, I think we're overlooking this. I definitely think we're overlooking an ex-champion, the heart of the champion, all that cliches. And first round submission, I literally bet on Verdum submitting Gus. I just thought that was a very key way for victory for him, especially got him on the ground, and he worked so hard. His transitions were so smooth, back, shoulder, rear naked into the armbar. Unbelievable performance by Verdum. The main event time, we were doing multiple podcasts. This was just the fight I talked about probably the most. I threw videos up on it. Fight that I was so intrigued about for so long was Till Whittaker. And same kind of thing. For the last 2 weeks, I was really leaning towards Whittaker, and especially the night of, I hammered his money line pretty hard. I think Robert Whittaker, 5 years in this middleweight division, 4 years in the middleweight division, has ran through everyone, including Yoel Romero, not once but twice. He was beaten Israel Adesanya. The first round, all three judges had him 10-9. And Izzy's Izzy. Well, people argue P for P. He should fight Bones. This Izzy versus Costa, UFC 253, is one of the biggest middleweight fights in the history of the organization. And he caught Whittaker with a beautiful left hook. He caught him. Went down. No, that's a loss doesn't get better than that, guys. It's mixed martial arts. Everyone loses. Check Stipe's record. Everyone, sooner or later, when you fight at the top level, when you fight championship fight after championship fight after championship fight after number one contender after number one contender, you take an L. So I loved Whittaker going to this fight, and what a fight it was. And I love me some Darren Till. Same thing. I didn't think he lost anything there either. Went 5 rounds with Whittaker. Some judges had him winning the fifth and the first. The first he definitely won with a nice little short elbow. Dropped Whittaker in the first. Whittaker definitely won 2, 3, and 4 for me. I wish we had an MMA scoreboard so we can see it. But what a way to the finale for Fight Island. ESPN, UFC, hats off. What a phenomenal job. Like I said, we had title fights. We had Masvidal Usman, Calvin Kattar, who was just on the Fight Bananas podcast. Make sure to go back, download, subscribe his episode. What a great chat with him. Main event versus Ige. Stars were born. Plenty of new fighters we haven't heard of. A lot of female fights. A lot of moving around. Fight Island was super necessary, and Robert Whittaker is now the number one contender. Robert Whittaker versus the winner of Costa Izzy. And Robert Whittaker already said the name of Israel Adesanya. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I absolutely love this episode. It was just a little chit-chat. Hopefully you guys have a great start of the week. We have a ton of content planned for you. We're going to throw up a lot of videos this week. So make sure you are on our Fight Bananas YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. Make sure you support all of our sponsors. They're paying for everything for us. We appreciate them so goddamn much. That's Warhammer Fightwear. Check them out at warhammerfightwear.com. Guys, buy a tee. I wear that dry fit tee. There's a slick black dry fit tee. Hook that up. Guys, also check out our family over there, retrograppler.com. If you roll, if you do jiu-jitsu, or if you're in the MMA scene, check them out, guys. retrograppler.com. They have some sick rash guards. We're talking about Star Wars, X-Men, G.I. Joe. They got some sick Saturday morning stuff. I love it. Love their gear. And Still Nutrition. I take that joint jiu-jitsu every single day. That's what I love. All the sponsors that we have, I use. We have turned down sponsorships of companies I didn't believe in, companies I don't use. I want to believe in and be able to talk to you guys. You're going to hear me. You're going to hear right through me if I'm like, guys, go to Wells Fargo. They're the best bank ever. You're going to hear bullshit. So, Still Nutrition, Makotech mouth guards, Retro Grappler, Warhammer Fusion. This is stuff I use on the daily. So check them all out. Guys, check out my Twitter game, David Van Auken. Facebook, Instagram, David Van Auken. We appreciate everyone. Fight Bananas. Go to fightbananas.com. Every single article. Our new guy, Ross Markey, is on the team. We love it. We got all the betting podcast on it. Everything you need is at fightbananas.com.
That is going to get pulled.
Oh, that's going to be extended. There it is. Wow. It is another submission win for Fabricio Verdum. He gets it done in the first.
Wow. What an impressive performance from the veteran, former champion Fabricio Verdum.